beautiful people, welcome to Kate Space, welcome to my channel. Thanks for joining me, I really appreciate it. And today I am doing this thing. I don't know if you remember, some of you will, and I'll link if there's any videos. Back after the floods, David found this book on the road when he was going for a walk. So this was February last year. And I turned it into a journal for myself. So it's like a personal journal. And look, I've hardly really done that much in it. I've done a little bit, but I wish I had done more. And so I kind of thought, oh, well, I'll add to it. And then in my head, because I'm a bit weird like that, I decided, no, this is last year's journal. I can't possibly put this year's sort of events and journaling in it. So I thought, okay then, Kate, just make another one. So I'm going to make another one. I really love the pages that I used in here and the different papers. I love that it's an old book and I just remade a spine and covered it in some fabric. And so I'm basically going to do pretty much the same thing. But what I'm going to do is make one for me, and I'm going to make another one that, I don't know, it will go in the shop and someone might want to buy it. So I'm using really old book covers. I'm using this one here, which I love. And I've already taken the spine out of them. And I'm going to use this one here, which is very plain. Let me work that out. It goes this way. It's super plain and old and grungy, and I don't know how that one's actually going to turn out. And I've got my tapestry fabric, this one here, which I've been wanting to use for ages, I'm going to put on here. And this one here, which I've used before, I'm going to put on here. So I just thought I'd bring you along for the ride. I'll probably have to do lots of editing. I've actually been through lots of the papers and they're all just sitting on the floor beside me, which is very messy. But I thought, oh, well, let's just do the covers first and get them drying. So the first thing I want to do is cut this spine here. I've made them 2.5 inches. This is just some old hanging file folder cardboard, and so I made them 2.5 inches so I can get lots of signatures and pages in, and then also hopefully there'll be room to grow for any sort of journaling, and I use a lot of photos and stuff, so they'll get fat. Right, I'm just going to cut across here. Okay, so we've got our spines to the right height of our books, and I'm going to use some of this vintage mull cloth. I have this in my shop, and it's what I use to attach my spines to my books. And I'm probably going to leave about 1/4 inch between the edge of the book and the spine there, so that it's got room to open and close. Probably don't need that much, and also I don't want the mull cloth to be that big, so I'm going to cut it. So I'll cut it to length approximately, which is about going to be just along here for that one. And on this one, about there. Hopefully that's straight-ish. So this is really strong, lightweight, sort of a fabric that is used to hold books together. So I'm probably just going to go that far. I love the inside cover of this one, so I am not going to cover that up. So that is actually going to be the inside front cover of that one. Yeah, okay. So how wide do I want this? 2.5 there and there. I only probably want it to be about that wide. And then we'll use other fabric on the inside of the spine as well, and the outside, so it'll be super strong. So there's a piece for that. Right, so I won't do everything twice on camera because that would be probably a little bit dull. So I'm going to glue this. How am I going to do it? Am I going to do it this way? Yeah. I'm going to glue that like that, I think. Yeah, so I'm going to glue my spine onto my mull cloth, or my mull cloth onto my spine. I'm just using Aileen's tacky glue. It's basically just a thick PVA, I think. I don't know, but it's real good with fabric, and I use this one a lot. It doesn't dry as fast as what everyone says the you know, the smelly glue, as Rachel calls it, but we don't get that here. So I have got some similar, but I just tend not to use it. I tend to use this. The stuff's really, really good. And yeah, you have to squeeze it quite hard to get it out of the bottle. Not ideal for my old lady hands, but there we go. And then just try and center this as best I can on here. So that's the center. That's pretty good. It shall do, I think. Oops. Probably shouldn't have done that. And then I'm going to do it this way, wasn't I think. I only want a little gap, but I do want it to be straight, which is why I generally make it 1/4 of an inch, because then I can kind of measure it on my mat and get it straightish, which I kind of like. I like the idea of it being sort of straight, so I think I will stick with 1/4 of an inch. It's probably a bit much, probably an 1/8 would be fine. I mean, these book covers aren't necessarily straight either. A lot of things from those days were not straight. Pages weren't cut straight. But I don't want it to be totally skew with. Right, we want it to be somewhat straight. So I'm going to push this into those dots a little bit more. And I'm going to have this edge straight along this line here. And then I'm going to push that there. And that one's going to go there. And then I'm just going to glue it down and hope for the best. So our glue could go further this way. We had a lovely sunny day yesterday, which was nice. Sunday, and I went for a ride on my bike. Not very far, but you know, it's a good start. And yeah, I felt good about that. I don't know how straight that is, but anyway, making lots of mess. I probably should have put something down on my mat first, but that's okay. And then I want to do this one the same, pretty much the same way. Just measure that up and put it against that line and along that line. And then this one's going to go along there. yeah, so it was a lovely sunny day. And then, oh yeah, David and I went to the movies. You know, it's one of those things I keep meaning to do more. We like very different things, but this was called A Taste of Things with Juliette Binoche in it. It was a French film, and it was about food and love and loss, and oh, it was just a beautifully filmed movie with just a really simple story of friendship and love, but the cooking and the food, I mean, it was just the way it was filmed. You felt like you could smell and taste the food, and of course it was filmed in a beautiful location. And yeah, it was a beautiful movie, and I honestly thought David was going to be so bored by it, but he loved it as well. And we both love good food. Sadly, we both lack a bit of motivation as far as cooking goes at the moment. It's not something either of us have got much of headspace for at this stage. I feel like that's got a bigger gap than that one. There we go. I'm going with that. I'm just going to pull that down a bit. See, that's, yeah, they're not even. Like that now. Oh well, I think that'll be good. So yeah, those just need to dry, and I will go through it and make sure that all these edges are very well stuck to this cloth, cloth, because you don't want them lifting up. But there will be fabric across here as well, which I will have to choose what fabric I want to go on the inside, and whether I really don't want to cover this up, so I think I might put something old image here and put some old fabric across like that. So that's that one done. And then I will do the other one. But let's look at this here, because I'm going to use this on here for the spine. So it will be quite a plain book. Where's the front there? So this way. Quite a plain front on it. But I think maybe I will add something else, perhaps. I love this fabric. I think it probably should go this way. Oh, it does fit that way. Oh, there we go. I mean, the other option is to actually cover the whole book in this fabric. But it will only go as far as the edge. It won't fold around. It'll be quite fun. But I think I'll just do the spine, stick to the original plan. Is that the way it goes? Or do you think it goes that way? I like it the other way. Or do we not want quite so much? I kind of like having the blue, a little bit of the blue and the red, but that's quite a lot coming around. But there's nothing that we're covering, so, but it does come quite a long way over. But I feel like that should go in the center. I mean, it really doesn't matter, but so yeah, we might end up cutting some of that off. I was just deciding whether I wanted to make it narrower, and I think I do, which is a shame because I kind of like that bit of colour on there. I'm just wondering how bad it will look if I don't have that piece right in the centre. I don't think it'll be a problem really, and then that'll wrap around there. Everything doesn't have to be symmetrical. So actually I think I'm just going to glue this on like that. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to start here. And I'm going to use lots and lots of glue. Because this is very thick fabric. Let's use 2 hands. I know it's making this interesting scraping noise there. So yeah, the gluing is noisy, sorry. You can turn it down. And just onto the spine here to start with. And then I'll glue some more. Very messy. Okay, so we've got our flower, little red flower there. To add more glue here, lots of glue on the spine. Push that down into that hinge gap that we've made. I kind of want it to come from that side into there. So we've made it so there's not much on the front, haven't we? Okay, I'm going to do some more on the front. I want more on the front. We're going to have to add more glue. There we go. I'm going to have to not fiddle with it while it's gluing. I think that's the key. Oop. Of course it's stuck down to the desk. And then actually ended up using way more than I thought. I'm just going to use it all. I'm going to set that aside and let it dry and then see how we've gone with gluing that. Very much glued to my mat. Right, let's let that dry. Okay, it's the next day, so these are nice and dry. So they're really well, seem really well adhered onto there. And everything looks pretty good back here as well. Nice and strong, they're not going anywhere. And then here's my one. That's just naturally curved like that, which is interesting. I don't know why. Anyway, that's fine. I'm happy with that because I probably am going to do a hollow back hidden hollow back binding on both of them because I really like, even though it does get really chunky, it still lies reasonably flat. I mean, I've got lots of pages in here, so it's never, and you know, and lots of stuff that I've put in, so it's never going to lie totally flat. But the hollow back, you know, the hollow back just gives it that extra ability to lie flat. So that's my plan for these. Now I have collected up a whole heap of papers and basically they're pretty much the same. There are no digitals. They are all either repurposed or vintage or antique papers. So now the job is to get them sized down to fit into the covers. This is a pretty tedious job, I guess you could say. I think I will leave flaps and fold outs and things. The first thing I want to do is I'll make this very first page here the right height. So I won't put a pocket in this one. I'm going to make this the actual right height that I want all the pages to be. So I'm going to mark it here. Oh, let me do it this way. This will be easier. Mark it to be this height. So that way I know I don't want anything taller than this piece. And, you know, I could use just this half and it would make it sort of a shorter page for the first page. Shall I do that? Yeah, I'll do that. I think I'm going to make everything quite, it's not going to be super neat. It's not really, I don't really do that anyway with my journals. So then I've got a botanical page. So we've got the braille. Let's just check that that's all going to fit inside the cover. I've got the braille. I've got a pretty botanical page, book page. I'm then going to use some note paper. And this one I might actually, I want that edge there, which someone could take off if they didn't like it. And I'm actually going to fold this up as a pocket. Now let's think. That's going to be too wide. So actually, I wonder if, I know I've already put a fold in it, but I don't think that matters. I might actually do it so it ends up being quite a big page and can be either taken apart. It's always good to have options in your journals, I think. So then I'm going to fold that back like that. So this could be ripped off. This could be ripped off. I know I've got a fold there, but that will probably be covered over by art. So yeah, let's just check that all fits in. Oh, it probably might poke out a little bit. We can trim that. Then I've got some old book page. This is book page from Rachel at Roxy Creations and what came in one of her book page packs. I've had it for ages, doing that old hoarding thing. It's going to be too wide, so I'm wondering whether I use it this way and make it a smaller page. I might do that. I wasn't going to, but now I am. It will need strengthening. And then I've got this music page, which is this lovely green colour, which I love. And I kept going to put it back, and I was like, no, Kate, use it. And then I've got this. So I want this to fit the book. So I'm going to fold it there, and then I'm going to fold this back on itself, and that's going to be the center. So that's the first signature done, and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages in it. So let me know what you think about the fact that there's no digitals in these. Do you think I should put some digitals in? I think if I was going to do that, I would probably hinge them. So maybe print them to the size and then hinge them together so they were up the right way. I don't necessarily have to do that, but yeah, it's nice to have them up the right way. But also I find that I add digitals to my journal when I'm doing my layouts and things. It gives you the freedom to use whatever. And also if you've got kind of plainer papers, you don't feel so bad about covering them up, I guess. I don't know. Right, I'm going to actually trim this one to size, I think, which I think will be about there. So yeah, I've gone through lots of pages to find things that I think will be interesting and that people will like to work with. So again, I'm going to trim this one. I'm not going to I don't think I'm going to fold it. Could do, I suppose. And then it's, yeah, someone gets the choice of whether they want it or not. As you can see, I haven't tea dyed this one. I'm not going to tea dye all the pages. I've tea dyed some. Some are grungier than others. But I like that variety. So let's have a look. This is a very old book page that needs taken off top and bottom. A lot of these pages I will need to reinforce, and so I will go through and do that next. This one I'm going to fold it that way. This beautiful French ledger that was gifted to me by my friend Lynn. And it is very beautiful, and I still have just a few pages left, so I'm just going to do that. And actually I'm just going to tear across the bottom of this one, save me getting up out of my chair and walking across my studio. Not that it's far, don't get me wrong, I'm just being lazy. There we go. And so we're going to have that in the center. I do like the ledger in the center. I know I've done it twice now, but again, I often spend a lot of time over where the pages are going to end up, and then I realize that if someone's actually working in the journal, especially something like this, this is not a journal for looking at. This is something to be used for art or writing or collage or I don't know, whatever. The pages aren't going to stay looking as they are. So, that's upside down. Right, so these two I'm going to hinge together. Just having a look whether I'll pull that rough bit off or I'll actually wrap that round. What would it look like if it was wrapped around like that? Apart from very scruffy, kind of looks cool. I quite like it. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but I'm going to do it anyway. Right, so I'm going to use this glue here. And I'm going to glue down here. So these are two old pages. This one here is a very old book page. Or is it very old? Is it? I have to try and remember. This one might actually be from The Gardener. No, I don't think that is from there. Can't remember. Anyway, there we go. Kind of like that tatty edge coming around there. And I'll probably come back with my art glitter glue and get under all those edges and make sure that's all good. That's all right for now. And then I might just, I don't know, I might just put something over that. I'll come back and do that with the masking tape and things. So we have that, and we have the book page, and then we have this very old music paper, which is so beautiful. I'm going to put that in there. No, that goes inside here. Now, how far is that going to stick out? A little way, and at the top and the bottom too. So just going to take a little bit off the bottom. How is everybody? Oh, maybe I've asked you that because this is the next day. Anyway, I hope you're well. Hope you're all well and getting some crafting time in. This morning I went back to the gym for the first time in probably a month, and it was good. It was really good. I go and see a lovely lady called Dane who specialises in helping women, midlife women, gain their strength and things in the gym. So it was good to see her, and it was good to be back. My knee was actually not too bad. Been for some bike rides, so yeah. Fingers crossed things keep improving. I have to admit, well, I don't have to admit, but I am going to share that the thing that I found the hardest about not being able to go on my walks and having the constant pain was the hammering my mental health has taken. And I think it's because I wasn't doing my regular exercise. I'm not really good at being out of my comfort zone, having my routine changed, I guess you'd say. Right, I'm going to have to cut this one off down here. I didn't like doing that, and just how the exercise is really how I manage that part of my health, not just my physical health, but it's incredibly important to me for my mental health. Yeah, so I've been very under the weather, it's fair to say. But I feel so much better now, and I feel comfortable telling you guys that because I know there's many out there who would understand what I'm talking about. Right, I am going to use one of my girls' own paper pages. Now I am going to I'm going to hinge it with this one here. Just don't know how that's actually going to work. I wonder. I really like this page. I do really like this one too. If I hinge it, I'm going to have to... I don't want to lose the poem on the front, so we'll just see. Let's hinge it here. So fold it over there. yeah, we're gonna lose so much. Might be better in this one, because this has just got a little bit more depth to it. Yeah, we might get away with it in my one. So instead of that, I mean, we could use this one. It's just sort of boring book page, but it's going to stick out way too much, isn't it? And then we'll end up with... I'm going to have to think about that. I've got this piece of old music paper that I'm going to put in. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I've got more of this. This is one of the grungy papers that I have coffee dyed. I haven't ironed it, as you can see, and I've used some of my Lindy's Gang spritzers on it. I'm just wondering, I might do it this way. And no, I'll just do it the normal way. But I'll leave it sort of long on one side and fold this back. And hopefully I've done it the right size. Yeah, not too bad. I'm just thinking, have I made any of these pages the right height for this book? Oh yeah, because I want this to be the right height. So I'm going to fold it up there, and I'm actually going to take that off, I think. So yeah, yesterday I actually, when I was, I filmed the first part of this video, I actually woke up and I felt a little bit better. I think because a lot of the pain has gone, dissipated. It's still there, but it's nowhere near as bad. So I feel like there's hope. Very dramatic, I know. My sister has been like a lifesaver to me, and it's interesting because she has just had major surgery, and it's kind of ironic that she has been supporting me through my pain when I'm supposed to be helping her. But yeah, she's been amazing, and it's been so good to have her to rant to, and she understands because of what she's going through at the moment as well. So all right, I've got another book page here. I think I might put this one because I don't want, and again we're going to have to cut this down, so I'm just going to take it down here. Wouldn't be one of my journals if it didn't have botanicals in it, right? Okay, so I'm going to use this page like this. I've often seen Rachel fold them up, and I think sometimes she glues them to strengthen them, so I might do that. And I've also seen her fold them in, so I'm going to do that too. I'm going to fold them in this way as well. I mean, this looks like an Italian dictionary, or I don't think I've folded that quite far in enough. It's obviously old. I don't know how old, but it feels more precious because it's Italian, which I've got old dictionaries myself I could use. Okay, so I do need to bring this one in a bit more. I'm not sure what I'll do with those, but I'll leave them like that for now. And again, if it was mine, I could adjust them as I wanted to. Okay, another piece of Braille paper. I will take the bottom off it, maybe. I love that rough edge, but I know that's not everybody's cup of tea, so I'm going to take that rough edge off. So this brow paper is quite old and it's got some stains and things in it, as you can see. I don't know what they are. It's like when you buy a second-hand book and it's got some suspicious things between the pages. I read it anyway. Okay, and then we've got this one again, and again I think I'll do that the same, but this time I think I will fold it this way. And I'm not going to cut this off, I'm going to keep that because that is beautiful, beautiful old paper and I love it. So again, we've got our ledger in the center, and I think I'm short a page now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, there's 6 there. I think that in my other journal I had 7, so I don't know, we might add some pages. Right, so I think I'll just speed this up now, and because I'm aware that maybe, I wonder why we've got 2 music things there. I'm aware that maybe it might be a bit boring, so I'll speed it up and then we'll talk at the end. Right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 signatures, and I think that's going to be too many, maybe, because, well, there's quite a bit of room. I think we probably only need, I think we can take a whole signature out, and I will probably shuffle them around some more and rearrange them somewhat, but I like that they're nice and eclectic and unusual. That's how I wanted it to be. Let me just take one signature out and see if we should just go with 8. See, some of them need to be cut down back into the, so they're not poking out. think we'll go with 8. So yeah, there's my pages. I'm going to do the same thing again with the other book. I am going to find fabric to go in the center here and decide what we're doing on these covers, inside covers, and then sew them in. So we will end up with 2, what would we call them, art journals maybe, or just journals for working in. And yeah, one will go in my shop. This one here is going to go in my shop. I need something else on the cover, but again, it's not going to be super pretty. And this one is for myself. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me today. It's just the beginning of a couple of journals. I don't want to drag this out too long, so I'm hoping I'll finish them in the next video, and then that one can go in my shop. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate it if you'd give it a thumbs up or subscribe. Would love having new people, and then YouTube knows who to push the video out to, so I'd appreciate that. Yeah, so have a great week, and I will see you again soon. Bye.